Hey guys, look what I got. That's right, I got the Arrows BAe Hawk. This is a 50mm hand-launching EDF jet, and in this video we're going to unbox it, we're going to take a look at all the parts and pieces, and then at the end we're going to wrap things up with our pros and cons. Coming up next, we're going to see what's going on inside the box. This is how this little EDF jet comes packaged inside the box. All right, guys, here are all the parts and pieces that come inside the box. And as you can see, there really aren't very many. One of the things that I noticed, which is typical for Arrows hobby models, the decals are applied well, the paint is very nice, and it looks like the assembly is going to be really easy. So, coming up next, you're going to see this thing fully assembled. All right, guys, here's a look at this fully assembled, and I've got to say it is a stunner. It was not that bad to assemble, pretty darn quick, really. All you needed to do were 4 screws to do the main wing, a little bit of medium CA on that. That's what they recommend. I used foam tack. I think for the T33, if it requires glue, I'm going to use medium CA. I have that. Didn't realize that I had it until after I'd already used the foam tack, and the foam tack worked just fine. Either one will be great. And then all you do from that point on is attach the elevator control rods to the elevator. And there's one on each side, and it is that simple, guys. Coming up next, I'm going to show you how I programmed the radio using a 4-channel receiver. For those of you guys that want to use a 4-channel receiver instead of a 6-channel receiver, you want to go to your setup, system setup. Yes, because we're not plugged in, so you scroll down to channel assign. And what I did on the rudder channel, I put that to aux 1. Then I went next, and then I added D. I changed that to D, and that way it is the gear channel. Excuse me, the flaps channel. So that's really all I did, guys. And coming up next, I'm going to show you how that works. All right, guys, I have this set in stabilization mode. And what stabilization does, it's a lot like E-flite safe. And what it does is it corrects. Wants to keep you level. So when you raise it up like that, you can see that the aileron is popping up right there. And when I angle up like that, the elevator pushes down because it wants to keep me level. And when I push that down, you can see that the elevator goes up to keep me level. So let's try it on that side. You can see the aileron doing its thing. Very cool, very cool. That's the stabilization. The middle switch, that's basically dead, which means you fly the plane as if it were a true plug and play without any stabilization, any help at all. And the bottom switch is a lot like AS3X. What that does is it helps smooth out wind. So if you're flying along and you hit like a patch of wind, little turbulence, it'll do very minor course corrections to the point you don't even notice it. So that does not fly the plane for you. If you go into the initial one, that one kind of flies the plane for you, but this is also not for beginners. This is probably a 3rd or 4th plane if you have a natural aptitude for it. And yeah, all right, guys, more to come. Some control surfaces movement is up next, guys. I've got this set in low rates for both the aileron and the elevator. I will have the specific numbers for each control surface in the description of the video. And so there we are with, look at the aileron right there. That is the low rates, and that's my high rates. And it doesn't take very much throw on ailerons with a jet like this to turn it into a drill bit, so keep that in mind, especially if you're new to jets. And then Here is the elevator throw right there. That is on low rates. And it pops up there on high rates. So that is awesome. And right now, guys, I have to do something. We are gonna give this jet some throttle, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Oh yeah. Wow. You could not see it because it's off camera, but all the clothes and pillows and stuff in the closet were dancing like they were, like it was 1999 or something like that, guys. All right, when we come back, we've got more. Before we go much farther, I wanted to show you guys under the hood in this battery bay of this beautiful little plane. Up front, we've got that 1550 from Tattoo, and that's right about where it CGs, which is very nice, and that's where I'm gonna maiden it. I even have a line in front of the battery on the wood tray. That's my CG mark. And right here, we've got the receiver, got the Spectrum receiver. I've got links to absolutely everything in the description of this video, so check them out. It also helps support the channel, so I really appreciate that. Right here, we've got the gyro system, and the wires coming off that plug directly into the 4 channels in that receiver. Very simple, very straightforward. However, if you do get stuck, leave a comment in the comment section below this video and I will do my best to help you out. And that is pretty awesome. Coming up next, I'm going to compare this to the Arrows Viper. This is the best angle that I could get, guys, that shows the true differences in shape and size and color between these two. Now the BAe Hawk, as you can tell, its nose is a little fatter. Cockpits are remarkably similar. The intakes are certainly different. If you look closely at that, even hit pause, because I'm not going to stay on this frame that long. And then if you look behind the cockpit, the BAe Hawk is a little bit thinner. And then the tail section of the Viper is a little bit bigger, and the horizontal stabilizer is pretty much level, and it's anhedral, I think is what you call it, on the horizontal stabilizer of the BAe Hawk. So it points down slightly. Dihedral, it points slightly up. You get that on trainer planes, things like that. All right, guys, coming up next, we are going to do the pros and cons for the BAe Hawk. When I was going to set up this shot, I realized I had not shown you guys the bottom side of this plane yet. So while we wrap up our pros and cons, let's have a look at the bottom side of this plane. As far as the pros go, this assembly was nice and easy and straightforward. Has nice grips for hand launches. It's got nice skid plates at the bottom of the jet, because this is a belly lander after all. And it is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. I love this paint scheme. Comes with a high performance 50mm EDF setup, just like the very popular Arrows Viper. I love my Viper. It flies so well. Watch my videos if you have not yet. It comes with a gyro vector system, which has 3 different flight modes. I love variety. I love to be able to maximize my time on the sticks. You can also use a 4-channel receiver if you follow what I laid out there earlier in the video. It also uses inexpensive 3S packs. Again, links in the description of the video. As far as the cons go, really only one, and it is minor. I had to kind of nitpick for that. You just have to shift the wires around a little bit to make sure the canopy fits on absolutely perfect. The magnet is strong. I don't see it coming off if it's not perfect. But for me, I'm a little OCD, so that stood out to me as the only con. With all that being said, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. And GBLynden out.